A point that cannot be overemphasized is the importance of matching a tree and its requirements to the planting site conditions. The best known planting procedures will not save a tree that is poorly suited for its site. The tree must be able to tolerate site conditions such as wet or dry soils, space limitations, or shade. Selecting a species that meets the site requirements is one of the most important factors in influencing the success of the tree. It is important to select a tree that is healthy and vigorous. When selecting trees, examine the entire tree, especially the root ball. Survival and new growth are dependent on water absorption capacity and stored carbohydrates. The amount and condition of the roots in the root ball greatly affect transplant success. Bare root trees are usually small and easy to transplant. Because there is no soil surrounding the root system, they are lightweight, which reduces shipping costs and facilitates handling at the job site. The root system of a containerized tree is surrounded by soil or a substrate that is held within a container. Not all containerized trees are container grown. Often, bare root trees are established in the nursery and then sold in containers. Many trees are balled and burlapped in the nursery. In this process, trees are dug with a portion of the root ball remaining intact and wrapped with burlap. The most vigorous root growth occurs near the surface. Root growth from the lower portions of the ball is often reduced due to inadequate soil drainage and aeration. This should be taken into consideration when digging the planting hole. Ideally, the planting hole should be 2 or 3 times the width of the root ball at the soil surface, sloping down to about the width of the root ball at the base. The most common planting mistake is planting too deeply. The planting hole should never be deeper than the distance from the trunk flare to the bottom of the root ball. Planting too deeply can occur unintentionally because containerized and balled and burlapped trees often arrive from the nursery with soil too high over the primary structural roots. Most of the time, it is best to backfill around the tree with the same soil that was removed from the planting hole. Usually, soil amendments are neither necessary nor recommended. After placing the tree in the planting hole, work the soil around the ball, then water to minimize air pockets. Large pockets of air can allow the roots to dry out. Firm the soil around the bottom of the root ball so that the tree is vertical and adequately supported. The remainder of the backfill need only be tamped slightly as the hole is filled. A regular and effective irrigation schedule is crucial for new root development and establishment. Water thoroughly and slowly after backfilling. Especially in sloped sites, the remaining soil is sometimes mounded into a dike or berm beyond the outer edge of the root ball to collect water over the root zone. Transplanting a tree involves the additional procedures of digging and preparation for moving. Adding to that, some species are easier to transplant than others. Because digging a tree for transplanting can remove as much as 90% of the absorbing roots, species that have a lower transplant tolerance should be moved only when conditions are optimal. Some plants are more easily transplanted in the spring, before bud break. Transplanting dormant trees reduces demand on soil moisture because transpiration is minimal. Evergreen trees are also more easily transplanted while dormant. When transporting a tree to the planting site, measures should be taken to protect it from injury. The trunk should be well padded to protect from injury. The crown of the tree may be loosely wrapped with burlap to minimize drying and/or wind damage. Anti-transpirants may be applied but should not be considered a substitute for adequate watering. Keep in mind that special permits may be necessary to transport large trees on public roads. A tree spade is a mechanical device used to transplant trees. It encircles a tree and forces several large blades diagonally into the ground, forming a root ball. The tree is lifted hydraulically from the hole and can be transported vertically or tilted. Tree spades are often used to dig planting holes. If this is the case, it is best to eliminate potential root penetration problems by breaking up glazed surfaces on the sides of the hole before planting.